On. I'm Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. It's Monday, October 7th, 2024. As you can see, I have a new sign. I was about to put it outside, but then I thought maybe I'll have it in here. How you doing? How was your weekend? What is new? Seems like it's been a long time since Friday. We're all psychic to some degree, and we're all picking up on everything that's going on, so let's just acknowledge that to begin with. 1 year ago today was a terrible, terrible day, and there's a lot of chaos going on, and we just really need to hold down the fort and do whatever we can to lift the vibration. So on that note, I want to remind everybody that every single Tuesday night, as a reminder, please write it down and mark your calendar, that we really need to go to the energy realm. And every Tuesday night for over 2 years now, we do a guided meditation for a healed America. And then you receive, provided you're on the grassrootsofdemocracy.com email list, we just send you what's going on. We just send you what we're doing. We don't sell our list or anything. If you're on the list and you're not able to make it to the Tuesday night meetings, you receive a recording of the guided meditation anyway, that night or the next day. I know that working with our thoughts is scientific. It's proven to change the trajectory of events. So I want that to feel empowering to all of us. Back in 2005, when Katrina hit, I was not as experienced as I am now, clearly, as a psychic. And the wrath of Hurricane Katrina had me down for the count. I really, my psychic self couldn't handle that tragedy. It was just so horrible. Hey, Kalani, I haven't seen you in a while. And now, we have not one but two hurricanes that are many times worse. So we're going to bring the vibe up. I just want us to really understand what we're up against. And I just want to also say that those of you who have been following me for a long time know that I was pretty horrified by the hurricane seasons that I foresaw. I said, I think it was last year, that it was going to be, like, I was kind of speechless about how bad the hurricane season was going to be. And I actually think that I was seeing this year, because we've had some really bad hurricane seasons, but I think when I was like, oh my God, I just can't even handle how bad this, I think I was actually seeing this year, as bad as the other years have been. I have pleaded with people, and if you're in Florida, just be really safe. People that were talking to me over the past 2-3 years about wanting to move to Florida, I was kind of fit to be tied, because I would just be like, dude, don't. So if you're already there, just be really safe. Just really heed the advice. I know there are evacuation warnings. This hurricane coming in is like at a Category 4 or Category 5. The global climate change models have been accurate. They predicted this. Your family is in Port Richey. I feel like they'll be okay. If people take precautions, they'll be okay. The fact that the non-facts are out there, the fact that the monster, the people that I can only describe as monsters, and we know who they are, you know, the loser and his loser billionaire buddy. It's just despicable. Damon, I haven't seen you in a dog's age. Hi. It's beyond despicable. There are no words to describe how horrible it is what they're doing. Telling people that they can't trust the government. Oh, thanks, Electrostorm. Yeah, go ahead. Tell people I'm here. Hang on 1 second. The misinformation is not just Trump making it up in his head. It's not just that. The misinformation is this. This is why we have misinformation about the hurricanes. This is why we have information about, we have people giving misinformation about our government. This is why. I don't care if YouTube doesn't like it. I'm just telling the truth. That's factual. That's factual. Yeah, and all his minions. This is straight out of the Hitler playbook. But now they're messing with, you know, the weather, giving misinformation about the weather. It's Putin first, Betty. The first and foremost. I can only handle one nefarious enemy at a time. So, we're going to take a look at some cards. We're going to bring the energy up. Honestly. So, Michael's okay. He's got plenty of water. We will read on the storm. I'll just be completely honest. I don't feel good about it. And we'll meditate tomorrow night. We'll see if we can send it out to sea. Are you called your friends? Electrostorm, you called your friends to come over to your house? Yeah, misinformation is it's just, I can't even believe this is where we are. Kathy's here. Kathy, do astrologers see weather events? Curious. And when are we doing another show next week, right? We're doing another astrology show on the 15th. So, there are astrologers who forecast weather. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, on the 15th, we're doing a show at 4 p.m. Eastern. Tune into that. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the hurricane. I know this one's going to be bad. Didn't that happen with Ian too? Didn't after Hurricane Ian there was another one right after it? I think there was. I think there were 2. But the level is just kind of just really gone up. The Pisces lunar eclipse was bringing hurricanes and tsunamis. Well, it's a delayed effect, isn't it? So 3 cards. So if you're in Florida, get out of harm's way. Do whatever you can. And if you're thinking about moving to Florida, let me just tell you, don't. If you're making plans to move to Florida, don't. I've been saying that for a few years now. Okay, so as far as the hurricane goes, all right. It does appear that enough people will understand, as far as the misinformation goes, enough people will understand that they're receiving, not all of them, but enough people will understand that they're receiving misinformation. Hello, Cheryl. So there's kind of, it looks like there's going to be a massive effort to make sure the misinformation stops. The misinformation is from our enemy countries that want the United States of America and all its citizens to doubt our government. Right? That's what they're doing. Okay, hang on. Michael's in Florida. I think after this storm, I'm going to take my mom back to Cincinnati or Dayton. Yeah, be ready for a migration. Okay, and the Seven of Swords, this is the stealing card. So this is what we're going to see with this next hurricane coming barreling down just not even a week later. We're going to, but we will see a lot of the misinformation being outed so that people have the truth. You've heard a lot of backlash from the government. What do you mean, like, in what regard? So that's this. All right, so let's do some pendulum looking. Will a majority of the American people that are in harm's way with this storm, will a majority find out, I'm going to ask this way, what percentage of those people that are in the path of the storm will find out the truth? 10%? 20%? 30%? 40%? About half. About half of the people that are in harm's way in the path of the storm, about 50% of the people will hear the truth. Well, and that, you know what, that just, if you consider, like, according to things that we've seen, polls that we've seen that I don't believe, there's quite a few people that think Trump is no problem. Or they will choose to hear the truth. Yeah. It's about 50-50 in terms of, that's what the pendulum's telling me, in terms of how many will understand, that was the question, that the government is doing their job. Now, let's look at the positive, that the Republican governors, not run to fascists, but a lot of Republican governors in the states that have been hit have been praising the FEMA response. Now let's also remember that, and their lovely invention, Project 2025, the government doesn't even get involved. The government doesn't even warn people. In Project 2025, they just go, oh, FEMA, who needs FEMA? I think they might think that they have another planet to go live on. Maybe Elon Musk has some kind of a plan. Okay, I'm going to take you all in a spaceship and we'll go to Mars. But you know what about that? There was a program I was watching on TV when I was visiting my folks. On PBS. About the weather on the planet Mars. Did anybody see that? It's bad. So of all these people that want Project 2025, all these moron fascists that want to destroy, that are hell-bent on destroying democracy. I did finish my song, by the way. I have another song. It's called Dangerous Fences. Pretty intense. But anyway. They want to take away any sort of weather alerts, any government help, FEMA. They want to just get rid of all of it. And I guess they want to nuke hurricanes, because that's what Trump thinks he should do with a hurricane. Well, there's lots of hurricanes on Mars. There's lots and lots. Watch the special on PBS. It's about the different planets and all the research that they've been able to do. Sending the robots out onto the planets. I don't know how they think they're not going to be affected. All these bozos that want Project 2025. Okay, actually, let's read on that. We gotta hang together, you guys. We have got to be together. You found me? Was I hard to find? I'm sorry, I was a little bit late. I apologize for that. Please hit the thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. And you all know that I need business, so I'm not even gonna talk about it. It's getting scary. But we persist. Church of Spirituality from yesterday, absolutely phenomenal service, absolutely phenomenal sermon, if I may say so myself. 3 cards about Did you see MAGA Moses Mike over the weekend being interviewed by George Stephanopoulos? Did you catch that one? It's one for the history books. Oh, and by the way, I see people commenting that there's Trump Vance signs around them. They're crazy. Those people are nuts. I got a message from somebody who may be watching, who's there in Massachusetts, who sent me a link to an article that J.D. Vance was here in Gloucester on Saturday. I don't know where he was exactly. It was kind of a secret. But I was sending out those vibes, white lighting him away. And MAGA Mike, they have this thing that they do, and they're really, and I just want to make the point that they're there refusing to say that Joe Biden won the election in 2020. 4 years later, they're still saying that. And are you with me on this one? Donald Trump said out loud he lost by a whisker. Thank you, Darren. And so his minions are out there, and they were like, J.D. Vance, right there on the debate stage, he wouldn't say it. He changed the subject. MAGA Mike, it's the weirdest thing. J.D. was hunting witches? Yeah, probably. He didn't find me. I don't think he'd be interested. Did you guys see that? It's the weirdest thing. They're weird. I'm using the word now. It's the strangest, weirdest thing. It's like, simple question. Did Donald Trump, did Joe Biden win the election? Trump already said he lost by a whisker. It came out of his mouth. Yeah, and then he says he was joking. I haven't heard him say he was joking about that. He has said that he was joking about other things. Maybe he did. You're writing down questions for your reading tomorrow. Oh, okay. I didn't see you on the schedule, but I'll look. They just don't. They just. It's like they're allergic to the question. It's like they're just it's talk about gaslighting like that question's not even being asked. I'm pulling 3 cards about that out and out blatant lying. Dad joke. My boss said dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So I went in as Batman. That's what we need. We need Batman to deal with all these jokers and penguins and the rest of them. I'm picking 3 cards just for a little bit of insight on that whole thing. Did Joe Biden win the election? Well, Kamala Harris needs to stop her censorship. It's like, what? Jeez. Oh. And by the way, if you watch George Stephanopoulos, I don't watch the Sunday shows. Actually, I'm always getting ready for church, and I don't want to watch them lying anyway. But if you do watch MAGA Mike, and if you practice your psychic ability, or you probably don't even need to, MAGA Mike looks very awful. He looks kind of bloated, and he looks really stressed. And I feel like his brain is in overwhelm. Yeah, Tom Cotton is another one, right? They all do it. And I don't know what the exact number is, but just speaking of the MAGAs in our Congress, there's like over 100 of them that voted against funding FEMA. And they're supposed to come back and vote on funding it. That's a question we can ask. Will FEMA be funded before the election? Let me just ask them. Then I'll read you these cards about what's going on with those MAGAs if they can't just say that Joe Biden won. Will FEMA be funded before the election? It looks like yes. It looks like yes. I feel like something's going to happen there. Well, Mike already said no. What a jerk! Okay. Will they bring Congress back to it? I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a yes. Okay, so speaking of them, speaking of the MAGAs in Congress, they're highly emotional. What Chutkin and Jack Smith came up with last week, just a few days ago. I know it's a lot, but it's a lot to keep in your brain. MAGA Mike looked awful. He really did. Did anybody else see that? Warren, stop it. Did anybody else see that? Did you see that with George Stephanopoulos? What I'm getting about them just sitting there and lying like that on mainstream media is not doing its job anyway, but to some degree they do. The Five of Swords and the Six of Swords and the Moon. Okay, so the Five of Swords is they're facing many challenges, these MAGAs. They have help from our enemy countries. The Six of Swords is they're pretty stressed about what's going to happen. So the pressure is on for them to get Trump elected. Fact-checking to Republicans is censorship. Yeah, I know. That's the way that he talked about it. So they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling very squeezed. I mean, it's hard to stay with the lie when you're looking like an idiot, sitting there just not answering the question, right? That's being asked of you directly. It's so strange. I'm a little hung up on that. All right. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. And I'm well aware that Warren wants to do a group hug, and I don't forget the group hug, so just... It's not an easy day. So let's do a group hug for all the people that have lost everything, that are devastated. All the people who are devastated about what's going on in the Middle East, and all the people, all the Ukrainian people, all the people that are really feeling the distress. Okay. Gotcha, Warren. And I think you all probably understand that it's not an easy day. You give a personal kiss and hug for your... Thank you, Damon. Some business would help, too. Okay, so we're going to do a group hug for everybody in the path of the hurricane to be safe, and all the people who are really in mourning and trauma. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Group hug. All right. That was good. What I want to say about all this, too, is about 1.5 years ago, when I was reading on will people start to wake up. You might remember this, because I said it several times. And when I read on are people going to wake up, I saw the global climate change events as the catalyst for people waking up. When it got real. When the rubber hit the road and it got real. Right? The awakening has started. Definitely. We're in a huge energetic shift. We just had those couple of big eclipses, and I always talk about when there's a comet going by, and I was talking to Kathy about it on our show. Comets going by. I heard Earth has a second moon for for a little while. Anyway, as far as comets going by the planet, that's a lot of like radioactive energy, and I'm not being an astronomer or a scientist on that front. I'm just saying I feel like it energetically affects us. So it's intense. Let's choose 3 cards about what Putin is up to. When I think of Putin, I just want you to know that he's like doing this. Ooh, how can we mess with America? How can we get Trump in there? How can we mess with America? How can we get Trump in there? Pootie. Whichever version of Pootie is out there. I'm going to choose 3 cards about what they're doing. Now, I did read on it yesterday. I did go out to the rocks. Why can't dinosaurs clap their hands? Because they're extinct. Okay. I think you'd call that an obvious joke. Yeah, about the banner. I ordered that. I ordered it off of Amazon. It's cheap enough. But I was going to put it outside on the porch, but I decided to put it behind me. It'll end up there. Yeah, so I was out on the rocks, and I was reading on this whole misinformation thing. I do feel like people are going to wake up. I do. And I feel like it's these catastrophes. I do. I'm not sure how, but I'm going to pull 3 cards on Putin. Yeah, it was beautiful out on the rocks yesterday. All right. What's Putin doing? He's strapped for cash. Putin is strapped for cash. Putin, okay, let me put it like this. In order for Vladimir Putin to have the necessary leverage in the world that he's dreaming about and drooling over, in order for him to have that leverage, Putin, that he's dreaming about, that positioning, the only way it can happen is if Trump gets elected. And then Russia's all in on, Trump is in poor health, and then they want JD to step up. Because when Trump picked JD, well, Don Jr. really picked JD, they were happy. The nefarious forces at the Kremlin were like, oh, yeah, JD's our man, right? And JD's not really, you can say JD drank the Kool-Aid, but there is a side of JD that knows what he's doing and that does kind of go, when he lets himself reflect, he doesn't feel great about what he's doing. He's not that unconscious. Just saying. As far as Putin goes, Putin needs for Trump to win the election in order for Putin to have power in the world. Trump needs to win the election in order to not be held accountable for his crimes. It's multi-layered. As far as Putin goes, he is out of resources. Yeah, that's why JD is even more dangerous, right? But JD has his grandfather's ghost on his shoulder at all times, and I know he feels guilty. I've never not picked up on that. And I did predict that he would be the VP candidate pick. Remember? Just, blowing my own horn here. I've been doing this work a long time. The 4 of Swords, Putin is tired, worn down, out of resources. Putin doesn't have enough resources to really pull off taking over Ukraine. And then, he doesn't have what Hitler had. Hitler actually, it feels like, had more resources. And it feels like this feels like a Kamala win. We need the dad joke. Where do rainbows go when they've been bad? To Prism, so they have time to reflect on what they've done. But that's a good one too. Please donate to my channel. Please become a member. When you're a member, you get an affirmation in your inbox every single day. So, I mean, the energy is very much present for a Harris-Walz win. Let's remember the DNC. Let's remember all the massive endorsements. Let's remember Taylor Swift. Let's remember Oprah. Let's remember the Obamas. Let's remember that it was a monumental shift for America when we were seeing all that. Please hit the thumbs up too. This is free, that's all I ask. So the energy is there. And she's doing an interview on CNN tonight. I don't know if that's live. Do you guys know if it's live or if it's already been taped? Tina Peters, yeah, I was going on about her the other day. I might read on that, Darren. Yeah, 60 minutes, but it's CBS. That's how much I'm hip to mainstream media anymore. Not much. We have the energy. We have the necessary energy. And I'm getting a really strong guidance that the people aren't really getting in Florida the real news about what FEMA has for them to help them out and to save their lives in many cases. That news is not getting to them because of all the misinformation, and a lot of the people in Florida don't have any electricity or internet right now, and it's not going to be, they're not going to have it for a long time. But I do feel that it pushes the needle towards the Democrats. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, Trump lost the last election because he botched COVID. And people were angry. People that had voted for him were angry. So, we're all psychic to some degree. Trump don't care about the vote outgone. The vote outcome, he has planned to rig the election. Oh yeah, that's clear, and I'm going to read on that. Did you say the electric? Wait, sorry. He has a plan to rig the yeah, he spelled that wrong. I understand. We all know that, though. That doesn't take a psychic, Yogi Bear. I think we all know that. Whenever they're asked if they'll accept the result of the election, they don't answer the question. Do I see anything about JD being a little freaky in the sheets? I'm not reading on that. Yes, I don't want to see it. Because then I won't unsee it. It's kind of like when Trump's up there going, believe it or not, I have the best body. Yeah, I don't want that visual. Let's pull 3 cards on what they're planning. They're not planning to, they pretty much say it. They're not planning to treat this as, where these glasses come from? They don't work very well. They're not planning to treat this as a vote, as an election where they count the votes, right? They're not planning for that. Are we all aware of that? They're not planning for an election where the person with the most votes, electoral and all, wins. That's not what they're planning for. So we're going to pull 3 cards about what they're planning for. But I think it was Friday. I told you all, I don't think it was yesterday, I think it was Friday, that I see our government, our intelligence agencies behind the scenes figuring out what they're planning. And I think I heard something about that on the news too. You didn't think any of us want that virus, and Trump always has a plan to cheat on the election and has been busted for them. So I'm going to pull, I do feel like our intelligence agencies are on to what their plan is. And I do think that that's why I'm picking up on nervousness from MAGA Mike. For one. J.D. Vance seems to feel like it's going to work. It seems like somebody's reassuring him. So I'm pulling 3 cards about their planned coup. They pretty much, I mean, this is a coup, right? Project 2025 is a coup. Okay. I want to tell you how often I'm getting the guidance that we can direct things to go the way we want them to go with our thoughts and our intentions and our prayers. So what I see is I'm looking at how they're attempting to have a coup. And it's from our enemies, our enemy countries. That's how they're planning on it. The 4 of Cups looks like they're missing something to make the plan work. Part 2 of 1 coup. Yeah, and here's the part 2, right? It's the 2 of Cups. So this, I'm reading on their planned coup. They're planning it with our enemies. However, there's a blind spot that they don't see, that our intelligence agencies are onto them. The 2 of Cups is kind of like a stalemate. This 2 of Swords is more like a stalemate, but this is like, it doesn't feel like, I'm seeing kind of bickering between the MAGAs in our Congress and the enemy. It just feels like they're speaking different languages, and they literally are. But it feels like I'm getting Tower of Babel, from the Bible. I'm getting like, the communication gets screwed up, and the angels can do that. The angels can screw up their communication so it doesn't work. That kind of happened on January 6th. As horrible as it was, there was some kind of, there were so few snafus that caused it to not happen. I always say we made it through January 6th by the intervention of God and the angels. So, as far as their planned coup, they're counting on our enemy countries. I just feel some kind of miscommunication. And they do something dumb and it won't work. And the 2 of Cups is, that's not a card that's like, oh yeah, it's going to work. It's not a card like that. Yes, the Pentagon is aware of the plan. That's what I feel. And I think that's why MAGA Mike is nervous. I think, Cheryl, you're so sweet. You always make me feel good. Thank you. A lot of you do. I went to a silent auction. I won a dog whistle and 2 mimes. I come for the jokes. Virginia GOP ousted. Yeah, I did see that. Virginia ousted an elector because he refused to sign a pledge to vote who they say. It was on, yeah, okay, that's what that was about. I did see that headline. I'm going to ask the pendulum, are we going to see accountability for the upcoming coup? Are we going to see accountability for the upcoming coup? It looks like yes, but I'm going to ask a different question, because it's like, sometimes the pendulum's like, ask it a different way. Will the second coup that's planned be stopped? Is the energy, yeah, I feel yes. JD got smacked down from the Supreme Court. So much news. I actually have had a hard time keeping up today. JD got smacked down from the Supreme Court. Can you tell me more about that? I missed that piece of news. Oh, and David's making my day too. No, you're doing it as a joke. The hottest psychic out there. I mean, no one compares. No one has that fire. Glad you're back, Damon. I appreciate that. I just need to attract some business because it's bad. It's very stressful right now. And I think that a lot of you would really enjoy reading. I really just want to say that. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. Still no accountability from the last one. Oh, but it's not like there's nothing happening on that front. There's a lot of people in prison for Jan 6th. No accountability for Trump yet. Let's read on him, shall we? I want to mention while I'm thinking about it, I have a kind of like behind the scenes class offers, and this Saturday, provided a few people express interest, I have a class planned on reading the major arcana in the tarot. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Also, one other thing, I still have these cards. I'm mailing them to people who want them. The Dangers of Christian Nationalism, Project 2025. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. We'd lose everything. Okay, so we're going to pull 3 cards on Donald Trump. I do feel there'll be accountability for Kevin Roberts and Leonard Leo. I do. I can read on that first. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle's the only one signed up for that class, and I actually took it off my website because nobody was really responding. But if you're interested in the psychic, a few different psychic classes, let me know. It's not on the website anymore. I know, Angela's saying supposedly Trump got a Purple Heart from a veteran at his rally. Yeah, and that's when I kind of lost it on that on Friday. I was very upset about that. Thank you, Darren. I haven't been to the post office. Thank you. 3 cards about Trump. How is he doing? There was an article in the New York Times, believe it or not, that was pointing out how mentally messed up Trump is. Doesn't take a psychic. It's very obvious. We got, oh, okay, Rose signed up for the class. The major arcana are the 22 cards that are, the big ones. It's kind of hard to do a tarot class with all of them. I've tried that. How is Trump doing? Trump is leaning in heavily on the minions around him. He's kind of relying on them all to do all the work. Who wants me to wear a witch's hat for the month of October? I usually do. I found my witch hat today. I pulled out the box of Halloween stuff. We're getting there. As far as Trump goes, he's really heavily reliant on the people around him to basically hold him up. Oh, the witch hats are coming out. Don't you worry. And I'm going to make a trip to Salem at some point. Maybe I'll do a live stream. The Ace of Wands, yes. It's so interesting. Maybe that's the wrong word, but it's so interesting how Trump goes on about the teleprompter. The reason he goes on about, oh, isn't it wonderful to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? He's so weird. He's such a weird clown. He really needs that teleprompter. So right now, Trump is literally leaning on, it feels like, remember on Friday I was talking about how he looked, it finally hit me that his body language, his movements are like a marionette. Were you guys here? His movements are like his arms are on strings. And now that I've kind of noticed that, I really, really see it. It's like the universe saying, don't you see he's a puppet? Don't you see it? But yeah, right now he's heavily leaning in and heavily reliant on his communication, if you can call it that. He's leaning on other people. Now, we are going to read on Elon Musk, who is very mentally ill. I don't know what he was doing, jumping up and down. I think he just doesn't have any social skills, and he's mentally ill. Thanks for the testimonials. I'm going to not do a full hour tonight because I think that when it goes longer, that cuts into people wanting to watch the vid. What are you asking me? Will the loser be indicted for a violation of the Logan Act? No, there's too many other things for him to be indicted for. Elon Musk. I really do think he's going to get arrested for international crimes. Did I see Musk's eyes? He was stoned. I have a picture of it. And I posted it, and people were like, got scared on my community page. In case you missed it, this is Elon Musk's face, right? I don't mean to frighten you, but that's his face. And he said he's dark MAGA. That's right out of a Halloween movie. My God. Thanks for your testimonials. So I guess apparently now he said, I'm dark MAGA. They're just telling us who they are. They're bragging about it. They don't even attempt, it doesn't enter their mind. Maybe they should keep it undercover, which is interesting. Yeah, the devil's eyes, right? That's a real picture. So I'm pulling 3 cards. Gollum. Pulling 3 cards on him. These times that we're in are testing our faith, but these times that we're in can really strengthen our faith too. Whatever you have faith in. I always say that I gain a lot of hope from knowing that we made it through January 6th. I gain a lot of hope from, Joe Biden stepping aside and the perfect candidate stepping in. Musk will be held accountable for his international crimes. Somebody's going to stop him. The law is going to stop him. You can't have a man that's that dangerous running rampant and going rogue on the entire planet. Yeah, we've made it. And the 4 of Wands. I don't see Musk getting arrested, but I do see a threat of really dire consequences for him if he doesn't stop his criming. I know, BBs, they're all in on it. I showed you my book that I haven't read. My big book that Seth Abrams, I think I'm afraid to read it. Either because it's too big or it will be just too upsetting. Yeah. See Trump's ugly face? And there's Putin, and there's Bibi, and the Crown Prince. Yeah, they're all in there. Yeah. It doesn't take a psychic, it's factual stuff. Thank you, member. Please become a member. It's not expensive. You get an affirmation in your inbox every single day. Yes, this is Elon. I feel like, I'm not feeling arrest, but I'm feeling a very strong warning. If he doesn't cut it out, messing with the lives of people everywhere. And you better cut it out and go back to your corner, Elon. If you don't, there are going to be consequences that he won't like. Let's pull 3 cards for the community read. Yeah, he's going to be called out by NATO. Will he go back to his corner? Well, here's the thing. Either face the consequences or go back to the corner is what I pick up. Either go back to his corner or face the consequences. Yeah, money talks. Well, we're in a time where humanity, human civilization, has got to wake up to the fact that all this greed can destroy our entire civilization. So that has to stop. Let's pull 3 cards about from this deck. No, maybe from this deck. We'll pull 3 cards from this deck for community cards. Bye, Warren. Warren left. Are you alright? Hang on. There's only a couple more minutes. Remember I said I was going to end early. Alright. Hang on, I got the cards all messed up. 3 community cards. What we can expect. Dan Brown's fiction books were not fiction. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm going to watch that movie. Oh, 60 minutes is starting already? Is that what he said? It's not quite 8 o'clock yet here. Did it already start? Okay, 3 cards. Midas Touch is on too. You guys think I should keep the sign up? I mean, I'm gonna probably hang it on my porch here. In 3 minutes. Okay, here's our community cards. Yes, we're going through it. This hurricane is going to be very tough. Everyone, take care. Who's that book by? Seth Abramson. You probably like to read this. It came out a few years ago. He's a journalist. Okay, I actually see in the face of all this pain, we will have people coming together. So that kind of affirms that. Don't worry. One more dad joke and then we'll go. When you book a reading, you're helping me to not go completely broke. So just know that, and you're getting lots of benefits. So it's a win-win. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. I will be back on Wednesday for PNN. On Tuesday, that's tomorrow, we have a guided meditation for a healed America. Yeah. If you help me out, if you help me, I'll help you. It goes both ways. So thank you. I'm sorry that I have to beg, but I'm begging. I'll see you soon. Namaste. Stay safe. All right. Bye.